each of you for coming out to this event today. I would like to share my deepest appreciation to the Nicholas County Board of Education members, to the Nicholas County Board of Education employees, the State Board of Education, the State Department of Education, the School Building Authority for West Virginia, for Federal Emergency Management Services, local government officials, students, parents, and the community for your support in our endeavor to build new schools. Today is a very emotional day for me. It has been a 4-year process where we have shed tears and we've shared laughter. I'm excited to participate in this historical event, breaking ground for the new state-of-the-art schools for Richwood High School, Richwood Middle School, and the extensive renovation of Cherry River Elementary School. These schools will create an environment that allows teachers to be flexible by providing modern learning spaces for our students. I now have the honor to introduce to you the Nicholas County Board of Education, and if you could each rise when I call your name. Dr. Gus Penix, our Board President. Mr. Fred Amick, our Board Vice President. Mr. Phil Berry, Board Member. Mrs. Elizabeth Kaufman, Board Member. Mr. A.J. Rogers, Board Member. And at this time, I would like to provide an opportunity for Dr. Gus Penix to speak to you.
Good morning. I'd like to begin by thanking all of the folks joining us today, our invited guests, people who are with us here from the community, and also the people that are viewing us on by live streaming. I want to thank you for taking part in this celebration today. This is truly a momentous day. Today we are beginning the construction phase of our recovery from the 2016 flood. In just a few days, it will be 4 complete years since the flood occurred, and it's time now to move on, complete these projects, and get our students into new state-of-the-art facilities that they deserve and will enhance the educational lives of Nicholas County students for many years to come. Soon there will be a new Richwood High School, Richwood Middle School, and newly retrofitted Cherry River Elementary on this site. The citizens of Nicholas County will be very proud of these facilities, and they will not only meet the needs of the students, but serve the many and varied activities of the community as well. This is truly a great day for all Nicholas County citizens. Thank you.
Mr. Amick. Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Dr. Teacher. Fred said keep everything short and sweet. That's pretty short, Fred, but I can be that short. So I can tell you, after watching things going on in this country on the news this morning, in the last few days, it's a great place to live in Nicholas County, West Virginia. Great place for things like this to happen, that even when we disagree, we can still come together and do things for the benefit of our children. And we are ready to move forward. This school is going to be built here at this site, and we're digging ground today. We have the equipment on the ground. It'll be moving dirt. We're ready to move forward. Thank you guys, and thank all of you.
And I would like to thank the Nicholas County Board members for your support and your confidence in me over the last 4 years. It's not been easy, but we've made it. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our principals. Mr. Scott Williams, if you could please stand, Richwood High School. Mr. Tom Bayless, Career Technical Center. Mr. Gene Collins, Richwood Middle School. And Mrs. Laura Young, Cherry River Elementary. As most of you know, Richwood High School, Richwood Middle School, and Cherry River Elementary School students have major adjustments to make when they were displaced from their homes after the June 23rd flood of 2016. Our students and staff persevered and thrived. At this time, I would like to give Mr. Collins an opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Dr. Tadrick. I want to thank each of you. The past 4 years have been very difficult for my students, my staff, my community. But today, we're moving forward. It's time to start moving some dirt here and actually carry through on a promise that was made 4 years ago to rebuild our schools. I urge our community, our board members, our superintendent, our principals, my teachers throughout Nicholas County to come together. Let's work. Let's get this done. The construction process is not going to be easy. The battle is not over at this point because we have a lot of things that have to happen before our students are in these new schools. So we need to work together to get that done. I thank you for your time. I thank you for allowing me to speak this morning. And let's just all celebrate what we have accomplished over the past 4 years.
Mrs. Laura Young.
It's an honor to be here. I want to thank all of you for all the support. I can tell you right now I have 196 students in my building. They're not going to be eating in the same place that they participate in gym. They're going to have bathrooms and special education classrooms. They're going to have a community career center within the school. What this is going to do for my students is tremendous, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for what you have provided for them.
At this time, I would like to recognize our governmental officials. If you could please stand when I call your name. Mr. David Perry, West Virginia State Board of Education President. Mr. Miller Hall, West Virginia State Board of Education member. Mr. Clayton Birch, West Virginia State Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Kathy D'Antoni, West Virginia Department of Education Associate Superintendent. Mr. Mike Hall, West Virginia School Building Authority. Mr. Jeff Jones, representative from FEMA. Ms. Chris Drennan, Mayor of Richwood. Every agency served a different role in assisting Nicholas County schools in achieving the end goal today, rebuilding our schools. I would like to, at this time, give each individual an opportunity to speak. And one person who is not here today, is the FEMA director, and I'm not sure of her official title, but Mary Ann Tierney. She's based out of Philadelphia. She has been wonderful. She's made many visits to West Virginia. She's worked hard to help us to achieve all that we've achieved in securing funding and doing it the right way so that we don't have any issues in the end process. So I'm very grateful for Mary Ann Tierney. So at this time, if I could have Mr. Perry, if you could give us a few words.
Thank you, Superintendent Dietrich. It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome to all of you on behalf of the West Virginia Board of Education, Vice President Hall, myself, Superintendent of Schools, and Kathy D'Antoni. We're pleased to be here today. Isn't this an exciting time in the life of Richwood, not only Richwood, but Nicholas County as well? So, good morning. It's an absolute honor to be here with you as we celebrate a truly monumental day. It's so inspiring to see so many faces here today. You are all here because you are completely invested in this community and these schools. The road to this point has not always been a smooth one, but the strength of a community doesn't shine brightest when the road is easy. No, it is trying times that truly shed a light on what a community and a Nicholas County Board of Education have done. And let me tell you this community, this Board of Education, this superintendent is truly dedicated to Nicholas County and the children of Nicholas County. This community is strong. This county is strong. This community is resilient, loving, and kind. But for me, this has been one of the greatest honors as president of the West Virginia Board of Education to work alongside Gus Penix. I'm a note here so I can read it. A. James Rogers, Fred Amick, Darrell White at that time, Phil Berry, and Libby Kaufman. It's really been a pleasure to work alongside these people. Superintendent Dietrich and the Nicholas County Board of Education to seek compromise and do what is best for your children. And I think that's why we're all here, and that's what we're all about. The children of Nicholas County, the children of the great state of West Virginia. The students who walk through these doors will know their history. They will know the challenges that were overcome to bring them to these incredible state-of-the-art facilities. I encourage you to not lose the spark, to work together, to not lose the spirit of community that made this possible. Let it continue to shine as the sun shines upon us today. Your best days are ahead of you, Nicholas County. Miss Donna, the best days are ahead of you and your superintendents and your central office staff and your board, I'm sure. Let us celebrate the groundbreaking of Richwood High School and Richwood Middle School. I am confident this is the start of something great in terms of education, again, for the children of Nicholas County. Once again, thank you for the opportunity to share in this experience, and may God bless each and every one of you this day and moving forward. Let me also make one remark. Governor Justice, I'm sure, would have been here, but he's got a 12 o'clock news conference today, and he regrets not being here, but the governor has stood behind Nicholas County. The governor has stood behind Richwood, and I think he's to be commended as well. So I would be amiss if I didn't mention that. So we look forward to great things happening in Nicholas County with your superintendent and your president board. Let me also say, there is a deep respect that has been developed between the State Department of Education, the State Superintendent of Schools, and the State Board with these folks that represent you as a result of us working together, compromising to see this day come to fruition. So once again, thank you, God bless you, and have a very good day.
Mr. Clayton Birch, West Virginia State Superintendent of Schools.
Good morning. Well, that was very energetic, Mr. Perry. Wow. So I do thank you for having us today, and I know this is an important day. And you know, Mr. Rogers said earlier that what a wonderful place to live. So most of you know me that I'm going to make this probably personal. I usually like to weave in the personal touches to when I'm at an event. I have 4 children of my own. 2 of them actually are outside of the state right now. One is in Minneapolis, one is in Pittsburgh. And you can imagine as a father what it's like to have your children in those areas. So last night as I spoke to them, they asked me about my week and what I'd be doing. And I sent a picture of all 4 of my boys and myself about 2 miles down this river fishing. And I said, that's where I'm going to be tomorrow. Richwood, West Virginia, Nicholas County. So they're very familiar with the location. And immediately I thought, just as Mr. Rogers stated, where do I want my children to be? And I wanted to be in West Virginia. It's a wonderful place to live. And when I see the community here in Richwood and Nicholas County, what you've done for your children, the commitment you've made, it just makes me feel special that each one of these children are going to have someone like you all looking out for them. Throughout the pandemic, I've talked about one caring adult. And I can tell you, because of what's happening here in Richwood, I believe that these children are going to have an entire community of caring adults putting their arms around them. This is going to be a very, very special place to go to school. I cannot be more proud to have the relationships I have with all the folks of Nicholas County, the board, our board, Dr. D'Antoni, the Department of Education, and all those that make this possible. I am glad that Mr. Perry spoke with the governor. I had the opportunity to work with him very closely here recently. And he buys this idea of one caring adult. And so it's funny to listen to him weave those in now to his speeches, and he knows that I'm going to talk about it. But on behalf of the governor, on behalf of the board and the Department of Education, I will tell you that leaving here and knowing the direction you're headed, I know the children of Richwood are going to have one caring adult supporting them. In fact, a community of caring adults. So thank you on behalf of the Department of Education.
Thank you. At this time, if I can have Mr. Hall, West Virginia School Building Authority.
Well, I'd like to thank you for having me out here today to be involved with this. A little bit about this project and how it relates to me. I come from a very small community in Wayne County, born and raised on the same creek my high school was built on, elementary and middle school. Never lived more than half a dozen miles away from that old home place, from that school, from that area where I grew up. It wasn't even a town, it was just a creek with a school on it. Still live in that area. My kids are now raising their kids in that same area. So this project, this small town project, holds a lot of emotional tie to me. I have been attracted to this project since it occurred and drawn here. I was 3 days after the post-flood on site. I've been here ever since. The team that has been involved with this project is like none other I've ever worked with. The folks from FEMA, Homeland Security, Emergency Management, the DSHM folks have been instrumental to the nth degree in making sure that everything has gone smoothly here. I know it's been a long process, but the folks from ZMM and Skanska, the State Board of Education, the State Department of Education, the local board, I want to talk about a team effort, and it's not been easy. I know Jeff Jones from FEMA can attest to this. There have been some phone calls that were a little heated, and this is not anything to do with any local issues. This was just trying to get everything together and everything right the first time, so that when we funded these projects, that it could be done the way that it needed to be done. And I'm so pleased that this is the end result. I cannot wait. I've never been more excited about a project. Finally, holy cow, 4 years. Wow. That didn't hit me really till yesterday. I was sitting in my garage with my grandson, thinking about where I had to go today. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's been 4 years since the start. It didn't register. And so finally never meant so much. But again, thank you to everyone who's been involved in these projects, to the principals, to the students, to everyone who's on these project teams. And thank you so much for having me here today. And considering where we are right now as a nation, God bless you all. God bless our country. And, keep everybody in your prayers. Thank you.
Mayor Drennan?
not much of a speech writer. Really wasn't even sure what I was going to say until I came up here to this podium just now. I'm just curious, how many of us live in a house that there are things about that house that we would like to change? Show of hands. Yeah. But it's not that house that makes it a home. It's the love that we put into that house that makes it a home. We have an opportunity here to put our kids in a building. I attended kindergarten in this building. We have an opportunity to allow our children to move forward. It may not be everything that the community wants. It may not be everything that we desire, and I would be foolish to stand here and not acknowledge that. But we do have a choice to embrace this, and in true lumberjack fashion, make it everything that it has the potential to be. And I would ask that you do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to thank each and every one of you for helping our students, because this will be here for generations to come. Thank you. I'd like to say that I'm honored to work with ZMM Engineering and Skanska Construction Management firms in building our new schools. Mr. Ferguson from ZMM, would you stand? And Mr. Jason Pack, Skanska Construction Company. I've worked countless hours with these individuals, weekends, evenings, phone calls as late as midnight. It's literally working around the clock with them. Skanska is the crew that's going to be here to keep our construction projects on time. So I would like to invite Mr. Pack to speak.
Thank you, Dr. Dietrich. I'll just keep it short and sweet. I want to express Skanska's great pleasure at being involved in this team, a team that's working towards one common goal of providing excellent learning environments for the students of Nicholas County. So again, thank you to the Board of Education and thank you, Dr. Dietrich.
So before I ask each of you to get your shovels, I would like to thank Lowe's of Summersville for making this groundbreaking possible by graciously donating these shovels. And Chris Hanshaw and some of the other folks in the board office painted these shovels because we wanted them to be special. So each individual, when you walk away, we will have an engraved nameplate for you to put on your shovels to keep. So if at this time, if each of you could line up through here for the groundbreaking. And grab a shovel. It's wet, so be very careful.
Big enough for me.
What do we call it?
You have to have a hat.
Okay. And I would like for our service personnel of the year to join me in this groundbreaking.
You know which end, Mr. Perry? You good here?
Absolutely.
Oh, congratulations. Thank you.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, it does look real pretty. Go up there and grab your shovel. Yeah, there is. There's one right
Got your
behind.
name on it.
Yeah, there is. Get up there.
I've got one in here.
Find Donna and get
Mine's right here. Mine's right here.
Appreciate it, man. Just laid it on.
You won't tell them that we're happy.
Yeah, it's soft, isn't it?
Yeah. I got the big Cisco white. We're laid it on.
Are you sure it's not? No, you got it. Devil Lance is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's an outlaw though. You don't see where I get crazy this time.
Here's to
Are we ready?
our future generations. It's not as gracious as you see on TV.
Replace your divots.
I'm gonna throw my grass. Thank you. This concludes our ceremony. I'm so grateful for everyone in attendance. And if we can make our way to the Lake Creek property for the 12 o'clock. Good shape. And please take